Instead of comparison, you practice mindfulness, catching yourself in the act, and gently steering your thoughts towards your personal progress and the qualities you cherish in yourselves. How might your life change if you drew inspiration from others without losing sight of your own worth? This philosophy doesn't ask us to ignore the achievements of others, but to draw inspiration from them without diminishing our own journey. It's like running your own race at your pace, admiring the runners beside you, yet knowing your journey is your own, marked by your efforts, attitudes, and resilience. Can you recall a moment when focusing on your own journey brought you peace and satisfaction? Lastly, anchoring ourselves in gratitude transforms our perspective, turning envy into admiration and self-doubt into self-appreciation. How often do you take a moment to recognize the beauty in your struggles and triumphs, seeing each step, no matter how small, as a part of a grander narrative you're crafting every day? Stoicism invites us to celebrate our achievements, learn from our setbacks, and always move forward with a heart full of gratitude. This approach doesn't just shield us from the comparison trap, it liberates us, allowing us to live fully and authentically, cherishing the journey that's exclusively ours. So let's embrace our stories, knowing that our value is not a comparative measure, but a testament to our unique journey through life. What steps can you take today to cultivate a more grateful and self-appreciative perspective? 8. Lack of sign. 8. Lack of personal investment. Personal investment. Imagine Jamie, who always dreamed of running a marathon. Despite her enthusiasm, the couch felt more inviting than the pavement outside. One evening, while scrolling through her phone, Jane came across a beginner's guide to running. It suggested starting with just a minute of jogging, followed by a minute of walking, repeating for just 10 minutes a day. To Jamie, this seemed too insignificant to make any difference. However, recalling her marathon dream, she decided to give it a try. Day by day, Jamie laced up her sneakers and followed the simple routine. The minutes turned into miles, and the miles into confidence. 6 months later, Jamie crossed the finish line of her first marathon, overwhelmed with joy and disbelief. How often have you told yourself you'd start that online course next week, dust off the guitar in the corner of your room, or finally stick to a morning routine, only to find these promises lost in the shuffle of daily life? It's a story too familiar to most of us, not because we lack time or resources, but because deep down we might not see the value in investing in ourselves. Stoicism, a beacon of wisdom from ancient times, shines a light on this very issue, suggesting that neglecting our personal development isn't just about procrastination, it's about undervaluing our own worth. Jim's journey from doubt to achievement mirrors our own potential transformation. Stoicism invites us to shift our perspective, to see self-improvement not as an optional extra in our lives, but as an essential act of self-respect. Think of yourself as a garden. Just like a garden needs regular care to bloom, your mind and spirit thrive on attention and cultivation. When we skip investing in ourselves, we're like gardeners, ignoring our plots, letting the weeds take over. Stoic philosophy nudges us, reminding us that our potential is like a seed. Without water, sunlight, and care, it will remain just that, potential. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be one." This call to action is about recognizing that the pursuit of knowledge, hobbies, and self-care is not just beneficial, it's a duty we owe to ourselves. So how do we break the cycle of undervaluing ourselves and start making meaningful investments in our growth? Start small, let curiosity be your guide, whether it's picking up a book on a topic that ignites your interest, spending a few quiet moments in reflection each day, or exploring a new hobby that brings you joy. These are the steps towards acknowledging your worth. Self-improvement is a journey, not a destination. Embrace the Stoic practice of self-reflection, set personal goals, and celebrate your progress. Remember, investing in yourself is the most profound declaration of your value. It's time to tend to your garden and watch as it transforms into a place of beauty and abundance. As we continue, take a moment to help us spread this Stoic wisdom by hitting that like button and become a Sign 9. Seeking external validation. Part of our growing circle of modern thinkers and doers. 9. Seeking external validation. It's a common experience feeling like we're constantly on stage, being judged by an unseen audience. This isn't just a modern-day phenomenon. It traces back to ancient times, highlighting a universal human struggle. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, eloquently said, "It is not events that disturb people, it is their judgments concerning them." This wisdom rings especially true when we find ourselves seeking approval or validation from others. Why do we crave this external applause? It stems from a nagging sense of not being enough, a fear that if we're not validated by someone else, our worth diminishes. Yet Stoicism offers a liberating perspective. It teaches us to look inward, finding validation not in others' applause, but in our alignment with our own values and virtues. Stoicism isn't about becoming indifferent to others, but about recognizing the profound power of focusing on what we can control, our actions, intentions, and responses. This internal compass guides us towards genuine self-sufficiency, where our sense of fulfillment and contentment comes from within, not from the fickle opinions of the world around us. Breaking free from the chains of external validation isn't an overnight journey. It begins with self-awareness, understanding why we seek approval, and questioning whether our actions are for ourselves or for the applause. By embracing Stoic practices of self-reflection and focusing on what's within our control, we cultivate a resilience that allows us to face life's challenges with grace. Success from a Stoic perspective isn't about accolades or achievements, it's about living in harmony with our principles, embracing the pursuit of virtue, and finding peace within ourselves. This path may not always be easy, but it promises a freedom and fulfillment far surpassing the fleeting pleasure of external. Sign 10. Tolerance of negative environments. Validation. 10. Tolerance of negative environments. Ever found yourself stuck in a situation that feels like wading through mud, where every step forward seems harder than the last? Maybe it's a relationship that's more draining than fulfilling, or a social scene that dims your spirit instead of lighting it up. It's tempting to think this is just how things are supposed to be, but what if I told you that staying in these negative spaces might be a sign you're selling yourself short? You see, the Stoics, those ancient philosophers who were all about embracing resilience and wisdom, had a pretty insightful take on this. They argued that while we can't always control our surroundings, we have the power to shape our reactions, and to some extent our environment itself. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor who faced his fair share of challenges, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." It's a powerful reminder that our internal world can be a fortress of peace even when the external world feels like a storm. The sea to step away from negativity, to demand better for ourselves, starts with believing we deserve more. It's about recognizing our worth and understanding that we're not trees rooted in place. We can move, we can grow, we can seek out sunshine. So how do we start this journey? It begins with a commitment to ourselves to cultivate an inner resilience that acts as a shield, protecting us from the negative ity we might face. Think of it as building your own personal oasis, a space where positivity flourishes, and you're the architect. This might mean setting boundaries, seeking out environments that nurture your growth, or surrounding yourself with people who uplift you. Remember, it's not just about avoiding negativity, but actively creating a life that reflects your value and your values. After all, we're not just surviving, we're here to thrive. 11. Fear of pursuing. Sign 11. Fear of pursuing dreams. Dreams. What if the very thing holding you back was also what could propel you forward? It's a thought that many of us brush aside, but it's at the core of understanding our worth and our potential. Often, we're shackled by the fear of pursuing our dreams, not because we lack the ability, but because we're overly focused on what we might lose. This fear paints daunting pictures in our minds: the sting of failure, the precious time and effort that could seem wasted, and the harsh judgments from those around us. Yet Stoicism, with its Timeless wisdom challenges us to shift our gaze from what we stand to lose to the immense possibilities that lie in what we stand to gain. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardship, it's about recognizing that our journey towards pursuing our dreams is filled with opportunities for growth, fulfillment, and self-discovery. It teaches us the art of negative visualization, a practice where we contemplate the worst-case scenarios, not to dwell in despair, but to reduce their power over us by acknowledging these potential hardships and understanding that we are capable of enduring them. We often find that our fears aren't as insurmountable as they seem. This realization doesn't lead us to ignore risks, but to approach our aspirations with a balanced perspective where failure is seen not as a setback but as a stepping stone in our personal evolution. Imagine embracing every twist and turn of life with enthusiasm, a concept known in Stoicism as amor fati, or the love of fate. This mindset empowers us to chase our dreams without being held back by fear. It teaches us that every experience, success or failure, joy or disappointment, is a part of our story and crucial to our growth. By acting in harmony with our virtues and potential, Stoicism reminds us that true value comes not from external achievements, but from our dedication to living a life aligned with our deepest value. Values, thus overcoming the fear of chasing our dreams, isn't just about achieving success, it's about embarking on a journey that allows us to live fully, authentically, and with unwavering courage. 12. Failure to recognize your own sign. 12. Every step you take on the journey of life is a testament to your unique value, a brilliance that may sometimes feel obscured. You might find yourself seeking approval from others, believing their recognition defines your worth. While this is a natural impulse, it often leads us to measure our self-esteem based on external perceptions rather than our true selves. Stoicism offers a different perspective, encouraging us to see our worth as a hidden treasure, priceless, and not subject to the shifting opinions of the world. Just as the stars shine without needing permission, your worth is innate, a constant presence as enduring as the night sky. Philosophers like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius remind us that true freedom comes not from accolades, but from recognizing our inherent value. By focusing on virtues like kindness, courage, and integrity, we anchor our self-worth in something far more stable than societal approval or material success. So how can we cultivate this recognition of our intrinsic worth? It starts with a simple yet profound shift in perspective, turning inward to celebrate our efforts and resilience. Practicing gratitude for our unique qualities helps us realize that our true measure lies not in external validation, but in the richness of our character. Achievements matter, but they are milestones on our journey, not the destination. By embracing this Stoic wisdom, we empower ourselves to live with contentment and freedom, knowing our worth is a constant light guiding us through life's ups and downs. Feeling unworthy of happiness. At times, you might feel as if happiness is an exclusive club, and you're stuck outside looking in. This feeling of unworthiness can be heavy, but here's the twist. The door to that club isn't locked. You've just been convinced you don't have the key. Stoicism teaches us that this key is already in your pocket. Happiness isn't a prize for the select few, but a choice available to everyone, including you. Think of happiness not as a rare gem, but as a common stone that becomes valuable when polished. Your life, with its ups and downs, is filled with such stones waiting to be discovered. Stoicism encourages us to shift our focus from what we lack to the abundance we often overlook. Worthiness for happiness comes not from external achievements, but from the courage to face our challenges. Imagine the strength it takes to rise each time life knocks you down. Isn't that worthy of happiness? Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus lived these principles, showing us that gratitude, resilience, and virtue pave the way to true contentment. How can you start using this key to unlock your happiness? Begin by changing the narratives you tell yourself. Instead of seeing happiness as a distant shore, recognize it as the ground beneath your feet. accessible with every step. Practice gratitude not as a chore, but as a celebration of life's gifts, both big and small. Remember, in your quest for the best version of yourself, every effort counts. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and the path to happiness starts with the acknowledgement that you are deserving of it, right here, right now. This shift in perspective is your invitation to step into the club of happiness, not as a guest, but as a rightful member. Conclusion and call to action. Today, we've uncovered subtle signs that might indicate we're undervaluing ourselves, often without realizing it. This realization isn't just about recognizing these signs. It's about awakening to the immense strength and wisdom within each of us. You hold the key to unlocking your potential, valuing yourself for who you are, not just what you do. Recognizing your worth is the first step toward building a life filled with purpose, resilience, and joy. In this incredible Stoic community, you're never alone on this journey. Together, we explore not just Stoic philosophy, but its practical impact on our lives. If this video resonated with you, if it sparked inspiration or insight, please like and share it with friends. Your engagement helps build a supportive community where growth flourishes. I invite you to continue this journey with one of the suggested videos appearing on the screen next, curated to inspire and guide you further along the path of self-awareness and growth. Let's empower ourselves and those around us, sharing the light of Stoicism to illuminate the path to self-value and mutual respect. Thank you for being here and for being you. If you journeyed with us to the end, drop "I value myself" in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay connected with our growing community. Until next time, stay stoic.